In section 6.2, we're going to continue to work on solving linear systems, but now we're going to solve linear systems by using substitution. Substitution is a pretty familiar idea, actually, and the idea of substitution is that if I can establish that a variable is equal to something, which could be a number, or it could be an expression, it could be anything, I can substitute that value in place of the variable. So again, our vocabulary system of linear equations, we covered that in 6.1. So let's talk a little bit about substitution. So what we want to do is we want to solve one of the equations for one of the variables. So when you're looking for making a choice about how to solve a problem of this nature, what makes it easiest is if you've got a coefficient of 1 or -1 on one of your variables, and it just becomes the easiest one to solve for. So once you've solved for it, then substitute the expression you get into the other equation, and this is really important, into the other equation. You can't put it back in the same equation, and then solve for the other variable. Once you have found the value of a variable, you can plug it back into any one of the original equations to find the second variable. And this is how we'll find our x and y coordinates. So the way this looks is, I have an equation like this, or a linear system like this, and you can see this one's already all done for me. It's already been solved for y. So I'm going to take 10x minus 8, and I'm going to put it into the other equation in place of y. Okay, because if y is equal to this, then I can replace y with this. So I have negative 5x plus 3 times the value of y, which is 10x minus 8. And that's going to equal 51. So as always, I would say I would consider about whether to distribute or not distribute. I can't really divide everything by 3 because the 5 is not divisible by 3, so it's not going to help me. I'm going to go ahead and distribute. Negative 5x plus 30x minus 24 is equal to 51. When we combine negative 5x and 30x, we get 25x. And when I add 24 to either side, I get 75. And so x is equal to 3. Okay, so now that I know that x is equal to 3, I can substitute 3 into one of these equations in place of x. So I'm going to substitute it into the second equation. Y is equal to 10 times 3 minus 8. So 30 minus 8, y is equal to 22. Okay, so my solution is 3/22. Okay, if I wanted to check the work, I'm not going to do this now. I would take the x coordinate and the y coordinate, plug it back into the two equations to see if I get true statements. Okay, looking at this in a real world context, we've got this problem where we're talking about website hosting companies. So businesses pay a website hosting company to store and maintain the computer files that make their website. And internet service providers also do that. So you can use somebody who only does website hosting, or you could get website hosting to be done by your ISP or your internet service provider. So the costs are different a little bit. So the cost for website hosting offered by a website hosting company and an internet provider is shown in the table. Find the number of months after which the total cost for website hosting will be the same for both companies. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to write an equation for this company and for this company for cost, and where they intersect, that would be the place where the costs are the same. So I have a setup fee of $10 and a cost per month. So I know that y, my total cost, is equal to the price per month, $21.95, times the number of months, x, plus the setup fee, $10. And on the website hosting company, there is no setup fee, so it's just the price per month, which is a little more, times the number of months. Okay, so this is my linear system. If I move on and I want to solve this, I see that y has already been solved for x, or sorry, this equation's already been solved for y, so I'm going to take this value and plug it into the other equation in place of y. So when I do that, I'll get 2245 times the number of months is equal to 95 times the number of months plus the $10 fee. When I subtract 21.95, the difference over here is 50 cents, right? 50 cents a month is the difference. When I divide both sides by 0.5, that's the same as multiplying by 2. Dividing by 1/2 is the same as multiplying by 2. X will be equal to 20. Okay, so that is the number of months necessary. Now, you'll see I'm not plugging X back in because I'm not interested in what the total cost was at that moment in time. That's not what they asked me. They just asked me find the number of months. And we've done that. Okay, so that's how you go about doing substitution.